Some people act friendly until the moment you turn your back. This is the story of a shepherd who learned that lesson the hard way. In a quiet valley nestled between green hills and a thick, ancient forest, lived a young shepherd named Rowan. His life followed the rhythm of the sun. Every morning, as the first rays of dawn painted the sky, he would lead his fluffy flock of sheep up to the fresh, dewy pastures. He'd find a familiar, sun-warmed stone to sit on, his sturdy staff resting by his side, and he would watch over his sheep from sunrise all the way until sunset. It was a simple, peaceful life. One day, Rowan noticed something new. A pair of sharp yellow eyes watched him from the edge of the woods. A sleek grey wolf was lurking among the trees. At first, Rowan's heart pounded in his chest. He gripped his staff, ready to defend his flock. But the wolf didn't attack. It didn't even snarl. It simply paced back and forth along the forest line, a silent, shadowy figure. Rowan kept his eyes sharp, his muscles tense. He watched the wolf as closely as the wolf watched his sheep. But day after day, the scene repeated itself. The wolf only watched, never making a move, never showing any aggression. Weeks turned into a month, and the wolf became a regular part of Rowan's daily routine. It would appear in the morning and vanish as twilight fell. Rowan started to relax. He'd think to himself, he doesn't seem dangerous at all. Maybe he's just lonely, ... Or maybe he's curious about the sheep. The wolf's consistent calm behavior slowly chipped away at the shepherd's caution. He no longer jumped to his feet or raised his staff in fear when the wolf appeared. After a while, he even started to nod at the wolf, a small gesture of acknowledgement, as if greeting an old, familiar friend. When he went down to the village for supplies, the other villagers would often warn him, "A wolf is a wolf, Rowan. They don't change their nature. You must stay alert." But Rohan would just smile and shake his head. "This one is different," he'd say confidently. "He's harmless. I know him now." He felt a strange sort of pride, believing he had somehow earned the respect of a wild creature. He was sure he understood the wolf better than anyone. One particularly warm afternoon, the sun beat down on the hills. Rowan's throat was dry, and he realized his water skin was empty. He needed to go down the steep hill to the river to fetch more water. He looked at his flock. The sheep were grazing peacefully, their gentle bleating the only sound in the air. Then he looked over at the wolf. It was lying quietly in the tall grass, its head resting on its paws, looking almost asleep. Rowan hesitated for just a moment. He glanced from the sheep to the wolf and back again. Then he told himself, he's never attacked before. He's been here for weeks. The sheep will be perfectly safe. With that thought, he turned and walked away, disappearing behind a thicket of trees on his way to the river, leaving the wolf alone with his entire flock. The very instant Rowan was out of sight, the wolf's demeanor changed completely. Its sleepy eyes snapped open, now glinting with a sharp, predatory light. Its calm, relaxed posture tightened into a hunter's crouch, muscles coiled like a spring, with a speed that was both silent and terrifying. It launched itself from the grass and rushed directly into the unsuspecting flock. The peaceful scene exploded into chaos. Sheep scattered in every direction, bleating in pure panic. But they were too slow. Before they could escape, the wolf seized a lamb, the smallest and weakest one of the flock, in its powerful jaws. By the time Rowan returned, panting from his climb back up the hill, a terrible silence had fallen. The ground was stained with a dark patch of red, and his remaining sheep were huddled together, trembling with fear. The wolf was gone, and so was his little lamb. Rowan dropped to his knees, his water skin falling from his hand. A wave of regret and horror washed over him. "I trusted him," he cried out, his voice choked with grief. "I trusted a wolf." The villagers' warnings echoed loudly in his mind, mocking his foolishness. In that heartbreaking moment, the shepherd finally, truly understood. Kindness cannot tame a predator's true nature. A friendly glance cannot erase instincts honed over thousands of years. And trust, once it is so completely broken, can never be fully repaired. That day, Rowan learned a harsh lesson he would carry for the rest of his life. Some may pretend to be harmless, to be a friend, but it's only until they get the perfect chance to take what they want. The moral of the story is this: never fully trust someone whose nature is to cause harm, because trust, once it's lost, is never quite the same again. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales and lessons.